Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're looking at 3 games between M0nkey and Toxiic that just happened the other day. Now, M0nkey has been sitting top 10 in 1v1 for the majority of the season, but I believe that most of that came from his placement games and his early season games. And now, just not long before the Winter Major, he is putting some time into 1v1s again. And shout out to Toxiic, he is one of the players who I think just uploads every single 1v1 game and every single game that he plays to ballchasing.com. So he's another player who's recently been sitting top 10 regularly and playing against all the best players on the EU server. If you want to see more of his games, you can find them on ballchasing.com. And as always, I'll let you guys know I'm not sponsored, but we do use the site a lot for our channel's content. And yeah, definitely be encouraged to check it out. Awesome to see over there. Now, a little bit of a lag spike there, but I believe that was on the replay, so we're not going to rewind that one, as we will just see it again. But M0nkey gets the opening goal of the game with an air dribble. And don't forget, this guy, he's got a history of being a top tier 1s player. He used to be the #1 1v1 player on PlayStation 4. He, in fact, I think, he was maybe the most notorious PlayStation 4 player way back in the past. And he was one of the few players who was able to have success against PC players while he still remained on the PS4. And nowadays, of course, a ton of the top players have made that move from PS4. Yeah, M0nkey, there's videos and matches that he's played years and years ago, back when he was in console. He was always known as a legit player, didn't just play console only. He was absolutely on the hunt for anybody. Look at him now flexing that fall major champion title as we get close to that winter major. Toxiic with a nice angle on the dribble, decides to go for the flick, doesn't get much of a contact on it. And speaking about that winter major, it's really exciting to think that BDS right now, in terms of majors, are 4 for 4 between RLCS Season X and the new RLCS season. 3, of course, all EU events in RLCS Season X and 1 international this season. This will be their 5th, and yeah, surely you got to think there's no way they could win 5 straight. But then again, it's BDS, it's M0nkey, it's extra, it's marked by 8. Who knows what they're capable of? And I do really think, and I said this on my stream recently, nice air dribble bomb comes in from Toxiic. I believe that if BDS peak, and if every other team in the world peaks, I always hear this discussion, it's very interesting. A lot of people say that, Team A, Team B, or whatever team has the best peak. I really believe that BDS have the best peak when it comes to 3v3. Oh no. Oh, Toxiic, what are you doing? That was wide open. M0nkey just gifted him the possession, gifted him a goal, really. And Toxiic hits the bar. That's a disaster. So 1 goal lead squandered. Luckily, he didn't hit the bar and then land out of position himself. So he is going to be able to play on from this. And a nice recovery as he darts underneath M0nkey. M0nkey likewise, always keeping himself relevant in every play. And super awesome watching M0nkey's boost management. He does like to stay close to the ball in any game mode that he plays, especially in his ranked games. He's not a player who likes to drive away for big pads and give his opponent space often. That will be his change up usually. That'll be the thing that he does every now and then, just to keep his opponent guessing, as he does here after popping the ball forward. He does that because he knows after popping the ball forward, he's going to leave Toxiic briefly at low boost, and that will give him the time to then get back into the play before Toxiic can do anything. Toxiic now dropping the bounce dribble, once a 50-50. M0nkey able to handle that. I'd like to see a little bit more of an angle in Toxiic's dribbles here as he runs out of options on the past few. M0nkey coming forward with a better angle than we've seen from Toxiic, and now threatening an aerial goal. Toxiic with a good read on the bounce on that one. Again, he just goes right at M0nkey's goal, and you can see that when Toxiic approaches from this very straight dribble, this very direct to the goal angle, it is quite difficult to get a shot off. It's a lot more precise. You can, of course, flick the ball into the top corner from these positions when you're dribbling straight at the opponent, but you need to be absolutely precise with it. Whereas if you give yourself a bit more of an angle to work with, there is a larger margin for error. You've got a bigger window that you can actually land a good flick as you're setting up the shot. Quick transition for M0nkey makes it 4-2. He's been giving himself, I think, more in the approach than Toxiic has. Now Toxiic with an air dribble. That's the reset as well. And the mind game, and M0nkey pre-jumps but misses. So Monkey Moon deciding to full shadow on that play. You know, I talked earlier on about his past 1v1 that he's played on my channel, and you know, just while he was a PS4 player, and recently after he switched to Steam, he was very well known for his shadowing, very well known for his defensive play, and he still is a monster in those positions. Just doesn't like to concede the midfield as much as he used to. Now, Toxiic shrugged off a challenge here. Gets a successful mind game, but the follow-up shot had to be delayed slightly. Monkey Moon lands inside the net. Toxiic goes for the bottom right corner. Monkey Moon denies that as well. Toxiic's had the majority of the game in Monkey Moon's end, really. I really think that he could have maybe done better with some of these opportunities. Monkey Moon converts immediately. Toxiic underestimates the speed of his opponent. And Monkey Moon just too consistent with it. Far too effective with his offense. But hold on a second, look at Toxiic. Huge kickoff, and he's back within one. Let's see if he can get another strong kickoff here. What's Monkey Moon going to go for? He should be trying to stay goal side. He goes slightly on the outside again. A little bit risky for Monkey Moon there. Well, again, trusting his aerial speed, and him being the more well-known threes player by an absolute mile, of course, gives him all the confidence in the world when it comes to the aerial game, and Toxiic forfeits. So that will be game number 1 going to Monkey Moon, and lots of little saved replay notifications there. Toxiic saving, wanted to see this replay again because he's probably not used to seeing Monkey Moon in ranked ones. He's definitely wanted to remember to get this one, just in case Backers mod doesn't automatically do it for him. But unbeknown to Toxiic at this moment, he was going to get Monkey Moon another 2 times. So let's get into that second game and see how it goes. So here we go for game number 2, and it's the same map. It is the immediate next game that both these players played. And, of course, same cars. So, yeah, if you're right now trying to remember, wait, is this the same game that we just saw with another Forbidden Temple? Then I'm pretty sure it's not, and there we go. Confirmation, Toxiic up 1-0 as he just manages to keep Monkey Moon away from his air dribble bump long enough for the ball to cross the line. So towards the end of the first game that we saw, Toxiic was having a fair bit of success with his kickoff, and Monkey Moon, I don't think, really changed up his strategy enough to change that fact. This most simple way to switch up your kickoff strategy to try and increase your success rate is just simply flipping in a different direction when you get to the ball. As Toxiic now tries to bounce the ball off of his car as his car lands on the ground. Bit of a freestyle move there, but it is effective. Changes the timing of the ball bouncing, so if the goalkeeper's waiting for that ball to bounce on the ground, then they are going to get surprised. Monkey Moon's so quick off the wall again. Looks like he missed the reset, but it doesn't matter because he adapts perfectly and rolls the ball underneath Toxiic, who had backed off too far to cover that bottom corner. So straight spawn kickoff. This is good news for Monkey Moon, because although you can still lose it, it's rarely a kickoff that develops into a kickoff goal, or at least not as often as other ones. But look at Toxiic, he just chases Monkey Moon into the net, and he will eventually get a goal from this kickoff as well. Well, where's Monkey Moon going to go? You should really be dodging left here in my opinion, but no, he goes to the right and he loses again. So he's kind of sticking to the same strategy, where he's pushing the ball to the outside edge on every single kickoff spawn. And that is the side that Toxiic appears to be strong on. If Monkey Moon realizes this, he will be able to just flip in the opposite direction. It looks like he missed that boost now. Goes back for it. Toxiic playing much more of a physical game. It was flicks in the last game that we saw. Didn't really work out. I think Toxic's execution wasn't as good as it usually is. He's still getting a lot of time on the final third of the field. Flip reset to the top corner. Beautiful placement by Toxiic. And he leads 3-1, really forcing Monkey Moon into submission here. So Monkey Moon, he should be dodging to the right, and he does, and he gets the win. So, you know, it's one of those things I've told you guys before. It's very easy to spot this when you're able to check both player POVs, as we're doing right now. We can switch to see what Toxiic is doing on the kickoff. We can switch to see what Monkey Moon is doing. It's very easy to see what needs to be done differently, because we've got that perfect bird's eye view. We can see everything. Very impressive that players these days are able to identify that while they're in the middle of the game. So great job there by Monkey Moon. Now Toxiic, if he's paying attention, he'll have realized that Monkey Moon switched to which direction he's dodging into the ball, and he might do the same thing. And here we go, we're about to find out. Monkey Moon air dribbles in his second goal of the game. Will Toxiic go hard to the right. Yes, he does. So he's been going infield inside most of the time. Immediately switches it up. And I really feel like that might be an aspect of the game that Toxiic will have an advantage in, because he's played so much 1v1 recently. He's very much engaged in that kickoff meta game. Curious to see, will M0nkey switch it again? It's like a little game of chess, and he does go back to, so this is the kickoff. What M0nkey just did is the kickoff that was losing before, but now it's winning because Toxiic switched the direction he's dodging. It's a chess game. 1v1 kickoffs are so interesting if you really pay attention to what's happening. You look at what the players are doing, you try and identify the mind games, and like I said, the most simple mind game on kickoffs is which direction you flip into the ball. That is where it all starts. And then you can, of course, switch up the type of approach that you do. You can switch up the timing of your dodge, you can wave dash the recovery, you can even not go for the ball these days. And in the straight spawn, you can land backwards and reverse into the ball. There are so many kickoffs that are not just viable, but effective. And yeah, if you want to get better at 1v1, you need to be switching up your kickoff. It doesn't matter what level you're at, switching up your kickoff is the best way to have more success in 1v1 ranked. And 1v1 private matches, oh, that's a horrible bounce for M0nkey. He almost had an opportunity to go 4-4. As he continues to beat Toxiic in the air, which is not surprising. M0nkey, one of the fastest players in the world when it comes to taking off. His positioning is second to none, and I reckon his aerial takeoff is up there with anyone else in the world. I think it was Garrett G who said M0nkey is the fastest player that he's ever played against, and it's not because M0nkey has a faster car. Everybody in Rocket League, all the pros, we all know this, they've got the exact same speed to work with, so it comes down to positioning and technique in the takeoff. M0nkey's low dead zone really giving him a very fast takeoff. Especially in vertical aerials. Toxiic continuing to come out on top on these kickoff exchanges, and M0nkey, he's been switching it up a little bit, but Toxiic definitely has him beat in the majority of these. M0nkey would do well to just fake at least one kickoff every now and then. When you are losing, you can incorporate those delayed kickoffs and those fake kickoffs to try and even out the disadvantage that appears to be present. Might be time for another. I've talked about this in my stream and on recent videos as well, but it might be time for more kickoff tutorials. Of course, the 1v1 kickoff tutorials back in the day, even my own one, showed one kickoff. It's a monster shot from M0nkey, but he doesn't get the rebound. He tried to slam that in as it bounced down off the crossbar, misses. Tough shot to read. A great awareness by M0nkey, steals the boost on spawn. Toxiic knew that he took it, and he just continues with the small pads, which he's passed over exceptionally well. But he did have to concede possession to M0nkey again, who wants the backwall demo. Toxiic dodges that. These are things that Toxiic is going to be well aware of. M0nkey's had an edge in the aerial game. He's been very effective with his offense, but now he's trying to go for more standard 1v1 moves, and it's not working. Toxiic up by 2. This has just been a great display of control here by Toxiic. He has won the majority of the kickoffs with his superior strategy. It took M0nkey a bit too long to figure out exactly what was wrong, so he could have actually identified it at the end of the last game. He lost a few in a row, and Toxiic able to hold on to get the win. So both players winning one game. These were back to back. Now the third game that we're going to watch was played 3 hours or so after this one, so I'm not sure if they well, both of them or one of them stopped playing, and then they finally queued up again later in the day, or if they just both kept queuing and got different matchups for 3 hours and then played against each other. Either way, let's get into the third and final match of today's video and see who takes the best of 3. So into Salty Shores we go, and into the NRG away decal, M0nkey goes, trying to get that general energy into the matchup. But we are starting off with something fairly familiar, and that is Toxiic able to win the majority of the kickoffs. He takes one here. I'll be completely honest with you, I was paying more attention to the fact that M0nkey is in an NRG decal, so I did not actually look at what Toxiic and M0nkey did on that one. I'll just I'll tell you guys like it is. I know that some people are just going to think that I've watched these replays ahead of time because I'm able to know who's going to win a kickoff, but I actually haven't. This is the first time I've viewed it. Toxiic starting off with an awkward own goal. He tried to take the ball across his own goal line and accidentally hits it into the bottom corner. Okay, so M0nkey getting possession again. Goes in field. Toxiic dives immediately in for the challenge, understanding that, well, if you give M0nkey a shot from that range, One, it's not going to be easy to save. Two, M0nkey is going to probably have the ball on the boost afterwards, which he continues to have anyway. Brilliant shooting by M0nkey to go up by 2. Toxiic actually the one to slow down his kickoff approach. It doesn't work here, but it will get him into a reasonable defensive position as M0nkey having to approach more slowly from that angle. That's one of the advantages of switching up your kickoff strategy, as well as just giving you a better chance to actually win the kickoff. A lot of the other kickoffs that I mentioned in game number 2 here are kickoffs that will result in midfield play more than 2 players going for a standard kickoff. When 2 players go for a standard kickoff, you've got 2 players supersonic, flipping into the ball, creating an extremely volatile position, whereas if one person slows down, if one person fakes, if one person does something different, now suddenly the combined force of those players hitting the ball is not as significant, and the ball will probably end up in a more harmless location on average. So even if you're not able to get a kickoff win, at least you're not immediately conceding or immediately into a very, very second best position. M0nkey having the respect of Toxiic there, or Toxiic actually respecting M0nkey's shot once again. M0nkey getting a lot of possession in this game compared to the other 2 that he's had. A lot of consistent possession. Most of the goals that he's scored have just been one and done. He'll just attack and it either works or it doesn't, and if it doesn't work, he's very capable of defending the counter-attacks. He's not going all in often. This game, he's getting multiple looks at the goal. Toxiic clearly not as comfortable. Maybe getting a bit confused by the white M0nkey white variation of the energy decal that's across the field from him. Very nice early challenge there by M0nkey. Reads Toxiic and sends a 5th goal into the net, and this has just gone all wrong for Toxiic here. But he doesn't give up, still delaying the kickoff. It's interesting to see that despite the fact that Toxiic, I think, was controlling the majority of the possession after kickoffs, he's still the one who's switching it up more, and it goes to show that the top ones players, Toxiic is one of the top active ones players in EU at the moment, they do change up their kickoff even when they're winning. You watch guys like Abjack, you watch guys like Khaled, Jorias, they will switch it up. Even after winning a kickoff, they'll change what they've done to remain unpredictable, knowing that versatility, variety is very tough to read. Look at the mind games from M0nkey. Toxiic got him with one at the other end moments ago. Now M0nkey hits him with a revenge, 6-1. Dominant performance so far by the best 3s player in the world at the moment. Toxiic crunches another kickoff right through him. And this is kind of the time in the game where M0nkey should realize that he's got a huge lead and he should just try to get into midfield play. He shouldn't be trying to win kickoffs here, he should just be trying not to lose them too badly. Because even if he can get into midfield play and not have the ball, at least time's being wasted. That increases the chance that he'll have to win the game. Great save by Toxiic. He doesn't have a lot of boost left, but he's got enough to force M0nkey back, and now it's actually M0nkey who's got no boost. M0nkey just about dodges the demo, but he gets bumped just by a slither of Toxiic's car that made contact with him, and that was enough to knock him out of the game. And with less than 2 minutes to go, just less than 2 minutes to go, Toxiic is right back in this, and he might be about to make it a 4th goal. M0nkey not going to get that. Well, M0nkey, bit too volatile on the kickoffs. These are not safe strategies. He's going for the wins. He's hitting the ball hard here, so when he doesn't win it, Toxiic's got a good chance to score. It's as simple as that. Toxiic is getting those wins again that he had for streaks in the other games as well. M0nkey completely out of boost. He's, I think, just about going to get there. No, he doesn't get this one either. And within 1 now, Toxiic is very much back in the game. And there is so long left to go. Look at that again, Toxiic's the one to switch up his kickoff. Even though he's been winning them, he's the one who slows down. He's the one who goes more slowly at the ball. And this, it just makes me wonder how important would 1v1 coaches be. If we see a 1v1 LAN in the future, you see coaches on stage for 3v3 LANs. Imagine a 1v1 coach, what they would be able to do for one of these players, tell them what kickoff they should go for at any stage in the game. That would be, I think, a very interesting mind game to keep an eye on. Here we have M0nkey in midfield play. This is where he wants to be. This is suddenly not where he wants to be. He doesn't have 100 boost to defend with. Pathing over the small pads. Toxiic going for the air dribble to the top corner. Oh, what a save by M0nkey. It looked like Toxiic would be able to dunk that one in, but M0nkey's find a way to knock it out of the net and keep the rebound away from danger. M0nkey awkwardly jumps for the first shot here. He just gets it with enough power anyway. He had to be very precise with his dodge after jumping in an awkward angle. But ahead by 2, he goes off the back of a phenomenal save. Oh my goodness, this is going to get so frustrating for M0nkey. He concedes again, and you see there briefly, he pauses, the controller's been put down there. M0nkey trying to figure out what is going on. He just cannot get a win consistently against Toxiic, and Toxiic now wave dashes to get back on the ball. This is another terrible position for M0nkey. Toxiic trailed 5-0, but he stays in the game. That's the kind of mentality you need to be successful in ones. 5 goals, that's a scoreline you can come back from. Toxiic will know that. He has played so many 1v1s recently. He's got M0nkey in an awkward spot still, but M0nkey jumps over the attempted demo, and surely now we'll be able to get that 2-goal lead back. He does indeed. Toxic's out the game, and M0nkey's done enough. Toxiic, in fact, decides to call it there. You know, he probably had a small chance to still come back from this position because the kickoffs have been going so well for him. But well played, M0nkey hanging on. That save at 6-5 was, I think, the key. Or was it? I think it was 7-6. I can't remember. You know, you guys know the save that I mean. M0nkey really pulling it out the bag on that one. But great games by these two, who both, I think, still sit inside the top 10. We'll have a look and see what the leaderboard is looking like. I know that the activity has shot up in NA with First Killer and Daniel playing a lot of games. That's really exciting to see. Of course, you've got the regulars with Abjack and Khaled. But look at M0nkey. He's up to 6 now. Toxiic dropping out of 10. Looks like he may have come out the overall loser there. Well, we know that he did with the 2-1. But yeah, very good games either way. And I didn't want to keep talking about the kickoff meta too much, but it is so interesting to me. And I hope that you guys can understand what I mean. Regardless, I think it might be time to make another kickoff video. I want to make a 1v1 kickoff video and a 3v3 kickoff video, actually. Maybe even a 2v2 one, because once you start to realize all the ins and outs, and once you can see which, even as simply, like I said earlier, which direction somebody needs to flip in order to win against the kickoff that they're going up against, then yeah, you'll appreciate it more for sure. That game 2 realization for M0nkey, and then the subsequent realization of Toxiic, so interesting to watch. But yeah, that's all we're gonna have time for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Hopefully we're gonna be able to get some 1v1 LAN matches once the winter major comes around, especially with the top players in NA, EU, and I know Cal has not been playing too much because he's been studying. Middle East players have, I think most of them are still in school, so yeah, they've all been studying for the exams that are coming up or even happening right now. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it would be great to see some NA, EU, Middle East, SAM 1v1s when the major comes around. Hopefully we can make that happen. In the meantime, though, we're going to be sticking to the usual content. Show matches come in this week, so keep an eye out for that. Hopefully you guys are going to be able to swing by the Twitch channel at some point. Always get YouTube viewers coming by and saying it's their first stream or one of the first streams that they've been able to catch live. If you want to give yourself the best chance of catching a live stream, the best place to do that is by following on Twitter, because I tweet out all my streams. So you'll find the links to that, to my Twitch and my Twitter in my description down below. Either way, all show matches do make it to the YouTube channel, so even if you don't catch them live, you will be able to watch them all right here on YouTube. But yeah, guys, thanks again for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.